What's going on, world? Check 1 2. I got the phone on the charger, so I don't have my earpiece on, and not really sure how this is gonna sound, but I figure I'd take a stab at it. If it gets a little dark every once in a while, maybe you'll still hear the message. You should. But it's daylight saving, so it's a little darker out earlier. Riding these streets. Yeah, so I had a talk with the homie, one of the KGs, the Chaotic Gentleman. Peace to my brother Rich, who swears up and down that I need to start having these reflections and posting them up, because whenever I start talking to him, I get on my stuff, I start rambling on. And he's a successful dude. He's a big brother to me. And I don't take his admiration lightly, because he's a solid dude. So when he speaks out to me and says, "Hey, K, you need to kind of put this out there, put yourself out there in this way," I take his word for it. But the thing is that I'm not so quick to do things like this. But there's a lot of people out there that I admire that take the time to record themselves and say these messages, relay these messages, inspirational messages, and reflect some of their insight on things. And I admire it a lot. Very talented individuals out there. So if anything, for me, this may be more like an exercise to hear myself talk. I mean, one thing I'm definitely trying to eliminate is the I do that a lot. I want to stop that and maybe take more time to listen to myself and how I talk and how I articulate things. So this is a test run. So I might as well get to the generic stuff. If you're here checking it out, hit the like button, the subscribe button on the channel, and go around and explore my different, my different productions. I have a lot of music here online. I got a lot of things that I've produced, a lot of voiceovers, a lot of mixing and mastering for different artists that I admire, some of which is reflected on my YouTube channel here, but not all of it. But you can still take some time to check it out, and as I develop, I'm going to organize this more, because YouTube is definitely my weak spot. I'm not that good with the platforms online across the board, but if I had to rank it from least to greatest, YouTube definitely falls in the least of what I use and what I utilize. But I intend on changing that in the year to come and implement some better tools. But for now, I'm just in the car, riding home, got a little extra time on my hands, and putting it out there to reflect and share information. You can always check me out at kbanger.com. I'm going to leave all that in the description so that you can check my website. I have a free download there, Declassified, a collection of songs that I didn't release previously, collected as a body of work that you can download for free. All you got to do is just go to my website, kbanger.com, add your email to my email list, and that's it. The album's yours. You can download it. I also have a lot of other content and information there. and it would be nice to have your support. Let me know what you think about the music. My bio, I have a long legacy of things in different aspects of the music business, media business, stagehand business, teaching. I think what my brother Rich was trying to get at me about was reflecting on some of my experience for people to enjoy. You know, I know I do. I surf YouTube for various information on things from regular everyday people, and I enjoy what I hear. I don't always agree with everything I hear, but I question what I hear, and I check it out, and from the ladies and the men on all different types of topics, and it's very enjoyable to me, and I'm going to make a point to contribute as well. For those that can speak and those that have a voice, they should contribute, because not everyone does. And I know when it came down to me at certain times of need, there were some very well articulated messages that I happened to find, and some pretty unique productions. You know, things that people did in a very simple manner. I mean, I'm talking about people just as sitting in the park, people driving in the car talking, and they'll say some things that help inspire you. So I'm looking to do the same here. So you already know, like and subscribe to the page, follow me, because I'm going to be doing a lot more of this in the days to come. You can also check out my site, kbanger.com, at Keith_K_banger on Instagram, Kbanger Music on Facebook, and the list goes on and on and on. You can find me on Spotify, Music, Tidal, on all streaming platforms. Look and support Kbanger on all platforms, y'all. All platforms. So now that I've taken up a solid 7 minutes of that, what's going on here? Well, I think what I'm aiming to do is to divvy up different topics of discussion in different categories. I was kind of stumped as to what I should start with here, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not accustomed to doing this, and this is my first time attempting it in this kind of way. I don't know, for some reason it feels different. I do a lot of IG lives, interviewing my friends and peers on an array of topics, mostly music artists, but some have done different things. And I invite them on my platform. I make a little flyer for them, and I discuss them, and they enjoy it. So I wasn't sure what I was going to discuss today, but I do know I want to shed some light in the dating world. Not because I'm some serial dater, but hearing some of what people have to say, I can tell that there are a lot of individuals looking to be validated by what others are saying when it comes to relationships, dating, quote unquote dating, courting, and marriage. All very solid presentations. Very solid presentations. Yeah. Very solid presentations. A lot of fact-based, statistic-based information. Much of which I'm, not really too talented in memorizing. I would have to jot it down and organize what I had to say in order to bring that into the picture. But right now, I'm just kind of going based on what I feel and what I'm saying. So the relationship stuff, I think I'm going to put this under that category. relationship, dating, courting, marriage. Mr. Nice Guy. All right, I'll just go ahead and do this, man. Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mr. Nice Guy. As a man, as men in the US of A today, people are seeking ways to achieve a path to their better half. And in that, we have a whole brigade of people giving a bunch of advice. Some okay, some not so okay. And one of the topics I hear over and over again is concerning the good guy versus the bad guy. Well, why the bad guy? Because the notion is that women like the bad boys. And women like bad boys. You got men saying it. You got women saying it. Something that has to do with the bad boy. Something about the bad boy that attracts women. One notion is it's because the bad boy doesn't seem to really care. So because of that, it's almost like wanting what you can't have. Wanting what you don't have. So the bad boy has a certain appeal to a woman. Amongst other things. I want to ask a question though. Does this mean that as a man, you are to aim to be a bad boy in order to attract the woman that you want? Does this mean that the quote-unquote bad boy, or what they would call in Jamaica the bad man, is someone that you should study and take something from in order for you to attract a woman? I'm going to be honest with you. All right? You probably can't see me. You'll see me once in a while. The cars are passing by, but you can hear me, man. Hear what I got to say. If you ask me, that whole bad boy thing is maybe something you should check out. But me personally, I don't model after nobody, man. No one. And the last thing I'm going to do is model my behavior just for the sake of trying to attract some woman. Nah, the God MC don't do that. See, the Holy Quran teaches that you should fear no one but God. God and God only is to be feared. So, a man coming up with some kind of, I don't know, strategy to attract a woman that's not authentic to his self is totally off the table for me. Thus, the topic of this rant or discussion or self-reflection. I'm a good guy. And I'm proud. Proud in a good sense. Not in the bad sense. But I am very proud to say I'm a good man. I don't anticipate pulling a gun on anyone. I love self-defense, but I would hope to never use those techniques against someone, especially my own brother, or to take advantage of the weak in this kind of way. You see, a lot of these so-called bad boys, let's admit it, these are people that prey on the weak to do what they're doing. I'm going to say that again. These are people, these so-called bad boys that a lot of these folks are talking about, prey on the weak to earn that reputation. Can you prove it, Kay? Of course. Of course I can prove it. These guys out here committing crime, shooting, paralyzing, hurting their own people, will then run from police, and when they're up against a face-off with the police or arrested by the police, do you see any fighting back then? Do you see any kind of retaliation then? No, you do not. And you will see the same individual in court standing there doing absolutely nothing. See, the reason why these bad boys, these quote-unquote bad boys, have records are because they are cooperating with the court, cooperating with local government, cooperating with the police, one way or another, in hopes for a lighter sentence. And if these people are getting away with the crime, it's because they're dipping away. They're certainly not in the street talking about, come get me, police. They're not doing that. Are they doing that? I don't see them doing that. And this is who we're calling bad boys. I think it's a trap if you ask me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see where this notion has really come from. Is there some truth to it? Yeah, of course. But who's to say that these women that are admiring these men, who's to say that they really know any better? I mean, that's a whole other topic. I won't go off the rails with that. But we could look around and see that the judgment of these women, some of these women, when they're choosing men, definitely questionable. Put that up against the households that we're being raised in, lacking a father at home, television production all in your brain, this music all up in your brain. Not much of it is carrying a lot of weight when it comes to sound advice and model behavior. I do not intend on going to jail unless I'm fighting for freedom. I do not intend on hurting anyone unless it's because of self-defense. I don't intend on doing that. I definitely don't intend to put on a costume and a mask as a bad boy, preying on the weak, hoping to attract the woman that I want. Let me tell you something. For a while, I taught audio production, recording arts and audio production in New York City. And of course, you had a big population of people that came in that was into hip hop, into rap. So what comes with that? All that machismo and all that thug imagery, right? And they would come bringing that into the institution. So they weren't really there to learn. They were putting on a facade within an environment that they deemed was aligned with the dream that they had in their mind. Partly because that's what they were sold. Hey, you want to be in the music business? Come over to so-and-so school. So now you got a bit of a mix-up there. People who want to learn, but they got this imagery covering who they are because they're putting on a facade. Well, what's the facade actually for? For a while, me and Triple Beam and we always made a joke that this guy's doing music because he wants to get girls. So when guys would come like that and come into the class with their muscle-headed self, and I'm taking their dream seriously for them, I'm taking their dream seriously for them. And I'm pushing them to learn Pro Tools and certain, engineering basics to get the sound that they want. Introducing concepts to sound and engineering. These are things I'm going to be posting about as well. And when I found out that, when I would see that they weren't really fully vested in what I was saying, that's when I would stop the class and say, hey guys, I got a question for you. Are you pursuing this just to get access to women? And for a long time, people laughed at me about that until one day, I had a guy say, well, how else are we to meet the women that we want? Now, this may sound kind of similar, simple to you, but it was heartbreaking to me that folks would look for validation in music, in rap, in the imagery. They would look to identify, look for validation in order to achieve a woman somewhere in their mind. It's not even that women really want that, but somehow we have cornered women into being like this. And just because some may be like that doesn't mean they necessarily know better or that they're in their right mind. So what's the solution to all this? Well, if you ask me, you got to be true to yourself. You got to be real to yourself. And when it comes to Keith K, trust me, y'all, ain't no thug behavior going on around here. Especially to gain the favor of a woman. That's got to be the silliest thing I've ever heard in my life. The opposite is also true. You can't front and fake being a nice person for a woman to be on your side, because there's a lot of that going on too. Guys as nasty as they want to be, evil, violent men portraying themselves to be nice people. And then little by little, they're isolating you in order to have their way with you. But back to the bad boy thing. So that's something that I'm not doing, all right? I'm a nice guy. And I like being a nice guy. You know why? Because I'm nice and I'm kind to myself. Therefore, I look to be kind and nice to other people. So when it comes to the ladies, you ain't got to come spending your money around here. I'm not looking to take advantage of you. spend money just because I have this agenda in mind. No, I'll take you out to nice things because I like nice things. I'll take you out to a nice dinner because I like nice dinner. Whether it's with you or by myself, that's what I like. And that's how I treat myself. Oh, but a woman would take advantage of you if you do that. Yeah, maybe if you let her. But as men, we need to know better. Don't you think? I think we need to know a little better. And when you know better, what happens? You do better. I think I'm gonna stop here, man. Hey, if you checked out this video, hit me up on the comments section and let me know something. You know, let me know what you want to hear about. Or if you got any takeaways from this. This is purely experimental at this point. But I plan to get a little more focused on this. Listening back on what I had to say. So I can improve my virtual public address. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's your man K-Bang on the check-in, y'all. Check you on the next one. Peace. Peace.